In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this SAT math question using this TI-84 plus scientific calculator. It's now fast. So the question says, what is 10% of 470? Alright, so to easily punch this kind of question on a calculator, all you simply have to do is, this is the TI-84 plus calculator. This is the silver edition we'll be using to experiment. So the calculator is on. What you are going to do will be to impute the values of the calculator, but I recommend that you should clear before you start. It's very important to reset the calculator. So to clear this calculator, just press second, then this plus button, you will see memory on top of it. Then when you come here, you press 7 for reset, then press 1 for all RAM. You want to reset all RAM, that's what you want. Okay, then press 2 to reset all RAM. So RAM cleared, we are now good to go. So 10% of 470 simply means 10 over 100 times 470. So to impute in a calculator here, all you need to do is to press this math button, then navigate to numbers, then you scroll up, then when you come here, you go for this option D. Okay, then press enter. So we have 10 over 100. Okay, then come to this place to impute the multiplication symbol, this multiplication sign, then this means multiplication times 470, and that will be all. Alright, press enter. Enter signifies equal to on this calculator. So once you press enter, the answer is 47. So the right answer to this question is option B. Okay, so this is basically how you can deal with percentage problems like this for your SAT math using this calculator. It's now fast. So let's something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this SAT math question using this calculator. Alright, so it's very easy. This is TI-84 plus scientific calculator, the silver edition. So let's get started, guys. The question here says the function g is defined by g of x equals x squared plus 9, for which value of x is g of x equals 25. So we have to find the function for x when g of x equals 25. Now guys, let me show you how you can do this manually before you can punch through the calculator. It's actually very easy. Alright, so basically what you have to know is that in algebra, g of x can be replaced with y. Some use f of x, but here they're using g of x, so we can say that g of x y equals was 25. So when you substitute it in this equation we have here, you can say that our 25 equals x squared plus 9. Alright, so that's what we have basically. Now to make x squared here, this way formula, this now equals over the equality sign, and we change negative. We now have 25 minus 9 equals x squared. So 25 minus 9, that's we have 16 equals x squared. When you make x squared formula, you square root both sides. So this square can be square root. So square root of 16 will give a plus or minus 4. Okay, but we usually take the positive number. So the right answer to this question is option A, which is 4. But let me show you can do this with a calculator. It's actually very easy to do. Let me show you. So let me be the calculator. Now this is the silver edition calculator. The very first thing you need to do will be to reset, to put in default mode as usual. To reset, press second button, press this plus button, then press 7 for reset. I want to reset all and press 1, then press 2. It will reset all and for you are good to go. So let's impute this equation on the calculator. To solve this, you have to go to equation mode in the calculator. You press this math button, then you navigate up to get this equation solver. So this equation solver, you press enter for it. So let's impute the equation. Now when you observe carefully here, in this equation solver, we are starting with 0 equals the values you want to put at the right side of the equation. Now if you are using TI-84 plus scientific calculator CE, alright, the current model of this calculator, the process of solving equation on it is different from this civil edition. So if you want to be used, if that's the calculator you're using, the TI-84 plus CE scientific calculator, if that's the one you're using and you want to be used to how to solve the equation solver, you want to be used to how to make use of the equation solver there, check my videos on ACT maths. That's the calculator I use actually to solve problems on ACT. But for this SAT maths, I'm using civil edition. So this is how you do it here in the civil edition. It's a bit different in the CE edition, but still the same process. Okay, so let's go ahead and solve it on this civil edition. So here we have the left side of the equation have 0. So for the right side of the equation, what we're going to impute will be, now guys, look at the solution we have here. Instead of doing, remember we have our g of x is 25, right? So what you basically have to do is that this 25 will now cause, let me show you. So this 25 will now cause this equality sign, we change to negative. Alright, we now have 0 here. So what you're going to have will be 0 equals x squared, okay, plus 9 minus 25. So we're going to have 0 equals x squared, 9 minus 25, we have minus 16. So this is what we're going to impute in the calculator. Okay, so it's as simple as this. Let's impute the values. We have x squared, you press the button for x, to bring x squared, press this x squared. So we have minus 16, make use of this button for minus 16. So that's it. Now once you are done with this, the next thing you're going to do will be to press enter. When you get there, it will ask you to assign x a value. Now you can choose assign x values from 0, 1, 2 and above, and I highly recommend 0 to be safe in most times. So let's assign x to be 0 here, and that's it. Once you are done, press alpha and this enter button to solve it. Very important. So if to solve it, x is what, 4. You see, so the value of x is what, 4. Is as simple as this, guys. So the right answer is option A. This is basically I can solve this kind of SAT maths question using the TI-84 plus civil edition scientific calculator, and also do it manually, easy and fast for multiple choice question. Hope there's something interesting in the video. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this SAT maths question easy and fast using the TI-84 plus civil edition scientific calculator. Alright, so let's get started. First, the question says which equation has the same solution as a given equation. So let's solve this manually first before I show you how I can do the calculator. It's very easy with the manual method. Okay, so let's go ahead, guys, let's experiment. So this is going to be, we have 4x plus 6, this is simple algebra, equals 18. So we want to make x the formula, right? This plus 6 equals over to negative, we have 4x, okay, equals 18 minus 6. Alright, so 4x equals 12, divide both sides by 4. So our x is what, 3. So it's as simple as this. So from these options we have here, let's take the one that we equate to 3 as the value of x. So may looking at this solution, the right answer to this question will be option C. Okay, 4x equals what, 12, divided both sides by 4. So our x is 3. So the right answer is what, option C. It's as simple as this, guys. We don't even need TI-84 plus scientific calculator to solve this. Okay, so because it has already solved it for us. But let's use the TI-84 plus scientific calculator to solve this equation we have here. So this is a calculator. The first thing to do will be to reset, to put in default mode, to reset, press second this plus button, press 7, then want to reset all, press 1, press 2 to reset all. So it's done. The essence of this is to put the calculator in default mode. So we are good to go. Let's go to equation. So I press maths, okay, navigate up, this is solver, press enter. Alright, so now in this equation solver, the approach here is a bit different from when you're using the TI-84 plus CE edition, but in this civil edition the approach is a little bit different. Okay, but same process. So here the left side of the equation, you have it to be 0, the right side we want to impute the value for the right side, But the original equation here, the left side of the equation is 4x plus 6, the right side is 18, but here on the calculator by default is 0, so we have to make this equation to align with what we have on the calculator. And to simply do this, it's not required science, guys. All you simply have to do is to move everything you have here to the right, and what you have here will be 0. So when you do this, you're going to have 0 equals, we have 18. Okay, let's put it in order. Okay, 18 plus 6, sorry, this is not going to be plus 6. Let's make it comprehensive. So we are going to have 0 equals 4x plus 6 crossing over. You're going to have, yeah, 18 minus 6 minus 4x, which is something as 18 minus 6 is something as 12 minus 4x. So this something as 0 equals 12 minus 4x. So let's impute this on the calculator now to solve it. So we have it to be 18, okay, minus 4x. Bring our x, press this button. So this is the equation we have. Sorry, this is not, sorry guys, this is 12. We have it to be 12 minus delete 4x. Okay, so yeah, we are good to go. So we have 12, sorry guys, minus 4x. Yeah, so that's what we have. To solve this now, let's press enter button. First, very important guys, follow this step while solving the calculator. Remember, we're going to have our result has to be stored as the answer. Okay, so press enter. When you get here, assign x to be 0, which I highly recommend. So let's assign x to be 0. To solve this now, press alpha and this enter button to solve it. So our x is what, 3. As you can see, 3 is the answer to this question. So it's as simple as this. So which shows that the right answer is still option C. 4x equals 3, when you divide both sides by 4x is 3. Okay, so it's as simple as this. Is basically, I can solve this kind of linear equation problem for your start maths using this CV edition, TI-84 plus and calculator, and also do it manually. It's as easy as this. So hope there's something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we're going to learn how to solve this start maths question using our first using the manual method and also the TI-84 plus edition scientific calculator method. So let's begin with the manual method, which is very easier. Okay, so let's get started. So the question says the function f is defined by the equation f of x equals 7x plus 2. What is the value of f of x when x equals 4? So guys, in algebra, f of x is something as y. So you can replace f of x with y. This will be y equals 7x plus 2. And we are told that the value of x is 4. So what it means that where you see x in this expression, you replace it with 4. So this is going to give us y equals, so 7 times our x is 4 plus 2 will give us, so our y will be 7 times 4, that's 28 plus 2, which will give us 30. So what it means that our f of x, which is something as y, equals what, 30. Right, so that will be the answer to this question. So let me show you how you can solve this the calculator. So invariably you can say that this expression can be written as, let me show you, 30, okay, equals, yeah, 30 equals 7x plus 2. Alright, of which when you solve this, you're going to get back to 4 as the value of x. Okay, for this problem. Okay, so guys, that's the idea. Alright, that's the idea to this question. So let me show you I can verify this with the calculator as well before I end the video. So this is the TI-84 plus edition. As usual, to before you begin to solve, you reset you press second the plus button, then press 7 to reset, press 1 to reset over, and press 2, and you're good to go. Let's go to the equation solver. So navigate up, we have solver, enter. So we have 0 equals. So what it means now is that we need to make this expression we have here to align with what we have on the calculator setting. So to do this, you move what we have at the left side to the right side, change to the negative. So it's going to be 0 equals 7x, okay, plus 2 minus 30. Okay, so we're going to solve this equation and see whether we're going to have 4 as the value of x. If we're able to get 4, you know that this expression or the solution we did here manually is correct. Okay, so that's the idea. So let's go ahead. As we know, 2 minus 30 will give minus 28. So let's punch in the calculator. We're going to have 7s, when I press this button, then minus 28. So that's it. Press enter, assign x to be 0. I highly recommend. So to solve it, press alpha and this enter button. So you see x is 4. So the solution we have here is correct, as f of x being 30. So guys, this is how I can solve this kind of problem for your SAT maths using the manual method and the calculator method. Hope there's something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we're going to learn how to solve this SAT maths question easy and fast using the calculator. Alright, so let's get started. The question says a printer produces posters at a constant rate of 42 posters per minute. At what rate in posters per hour does the printer produce the posters? So guys, this question is very simple, very cheap. All you need to know here is to interpret the question and you'll be good to go. So firstly, ask yourself, if the printer produces 42 posters per minute, then they're asking you how many number of posters will the printer be able to produce per hour. So ask yourself, how many minutes make up an hour? So we have 60 minutes making up for an hour. So to get the number of posters the printer will be able to print in an hour, since it's able to print 42 posters per minute and there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So very simple logic, you just say 42 times 60 minutes, so whatever it gives you will be the answer. Let's punch this in the calculator. So we have 42 times 60. What would it give us? 2,520 posters per hour. So if the printer prints or produces 42 posters per minute, in an hour the printer will be able to produce 2,520 posters. So it's as simple as this. Okay, so nothing more beyond this. So this is the answer to this question. Hope there's something interesting from the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we're going to learn how to solve this SAT maths question easy and fast. Alright, this question is under probability, so let's just look at it and solve it. It says each face of a fair 14-sided die is labeled with a number from 1 through 14 with a different number appearing on each face. If the die is rolled one time, what's the probability of rolling it 2? So we have these options. So guys, for this question, the question is straightforward. You don't need the calculator to solve this. Alright, just basic understanding of probability and a die, how a die is, the game of a die is done. You will be able to attempt this question. So maybe looking at this question without even thinking much, the right answer to this question will be option A, which is 1 over 14. Now here is the reason. Only one outcome out of 14 is a 2, so the probability will be 1 over 14. Alright, so when you roll a die Okay, only one outcome out of 14 is a 2, so that's why the probability will be 1 over 14. It's as simple as this. So let's call you video, guys. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this short math question easily and fast. Alright, so let's look at the question and see whether it's something we have to use a calculator to solve faster. So the question says a teacher is creating an assignment worth 70 points. The assignment will consist of questions worth 1 point and questions worth 3 points. Which equation represents this situation? Okay, we have the equations as in the options. So where x represents the number of y point questions and y represents the number of 3 point questions. So guys, looking at this question, I don't think it's something we need a calculator to solve faster. What you need here is to interpret this question correctly and you'll be good to go. So let's interpret it together. So from the question we have here, let's say, so it's going to be each 1 point question at s point, okay, whereas each 3 point questions at 3y point. Okay, so the total now will now be added. Okay, x plus 3y equals what? 70 points, and that will be the answer. The right answer is option D. Okay, so it's as simple as this. I don't think we need a calculator to solve this. Alright, the question is straightforward. The right answer is option D. Hope you learned something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we're going to learn how to solve this short math question easily. Alright, so let's look at the question and see how we can go about it. So it says the solution. We have this first equation to be this, second equation to be this. We ask the solution to the given system of equations is, we have x and y in bracket. What is the value of x? Now guys, for this particular system of equations, if you want to solve it with a simple addition of the TI-84 system calculator, it's not that very clear. Alright, especially if you are just starting out with the calculator or you don't yet understand most of the features, so it will take you longer time to be able to figure it out. But this question, the manual method is easier. We're going to solve it manually in this video. But if you're using the TI-84 plus CE edition calculator, that's the latest one, I have a video on how to use that the CE edition to solve systems of equation. Is very easy there and faster there. But for this particular video I'm recording, the CE edition will not use it to practice. We'll solve this question manually and is very easy manual. I will show you. Let's solve it together. Okay, so for this question, let's call this equation 1 and let's call this equation 2. Okay, now firstly let's take this negative 3x to this place. Alright, I change to positive value. That I change to 3x. We have 3x plus y equals 0. We have 4x plus y equals 15. So right now, let's use elimination method to get the value of x. 3x minus 4x, we're going to have minus x. Y minus y is 0, so equals 0 minus 15. We have minus 15. Divide both sides by the coefficient of minus x, which is negative 1. Follow me, guys. So our x equals what? 15. Okay, now I have the value of x. Let's get the value of y using this output for x. Let's plug in the value of x in this equation we have here. So it will be 3x will now be 3 times 15. That's, we have 45. Okay, plus y equals 0. So to make y solve the formula, this 45 crosses over the equality sign, change to negative. So our y will be minus 45. So when x is 15, y is minus 45. Let's verify these output values we got with the equations we have here. So when you plug in the value of x here in this equation, you're going to have 3 times 15, that's 45, and the value of y is negative 45. So it will be 45 minus 45, you have 0. So this is correct. Then Just experiment this equation below. So the value of x 15, so 4 times 15 will give you 60, and the value of y negative 45. So 60 minus 45 will give you 15. So x being 15 and y being minus 45, the two values are correct for this question. So the right answer to this question is option C, x is 15. So guys, this is basically how I can deal with problems like this, systems of equation. You just use the elimination method, which is very fast, and you'll be glad you did. So there's no need punching this on this calculator, because for this civil edition, is not the solution not there straightforward. Alright, so it takes somebody that has mastered civil edition to be able to compute this. Alright, so but if you're using the CE edition of this calculator, is easier there and clear. So what that my video on the systems of equation with the CE edition of the TI-84 Plus calculator, I'm glad you did. So let's go to the video, guys. Hope you learned something interesting. In this video, we're going to learn how to solve this short math question easy and fast using this TI-84 Plus CE edition scientific calculator. So let's get started. The question says, which of the following equations is the most appropriate linear model for the data showed in the scatter plot? So guys, we have the options to be this. So right now we're going to experiment with the options we have here. We're going to impute each of the options and graph them with the calculator here and see the one that will give us the exact sketch we have here. Okay, so when looking at this question, to eliminate the options that won't be the answer, so looking at this, let me show you something. Let me write something here before we begin to graph this on the calculator. So when you have this, shows us that the intercept, you know that from the value or the formula for a straight line graph, we have it to be y equals mx plus c. So this c is our y intercept, this is our independent variable, this is our slope, and this is our dependent variable, right? So the intercept is usually where the straight line cuts across the y axis. So this is the y axis, this is where the straight line is going, so it cuts across here. So the axis of the y, it went to the positive y axis. Alright, so at the being it came out somewhere around here, it would have been negative y axis. So from this now we can establish that the y intercept is a positive value. Okay, so that means this one that has negative 10 will not work, so a negative y intercept. This one that has negative 10 will also work, a negative y intercept. So the option, the right answer lies between option B and option D. So let's experiment with each of the options here, B and D, and see the one that gives us this exact graph we have here. So let's make a calculator and solve this, guys. Follow me, you enjoy it, it's very interesting. Okay, so this is TI-84 Plus civil edition calculator. The very first thing to do is to reset, to put in default mode. So to reset, press second, then this plus button, press 7 for reset. Once you set all and press 1, then press 2 to reset, and you'll be good to go. Okay, so to grab this on the calculator, make use of this y equal to button. On top of it is written start plot. So let's begin with option D. So we have it to be 1 point, the slope is 1.9 there, then the independent variable is not known, x, then we have plus here the y intercept is 10.1. let's see, we're going to have this sketching of the graph when we graph it now. So that's it. Let's press graph this button and it will graph it for us. You see, so it shows us that the answer is not option D. You see, the graph is taking this direction, whereas what we have here is taking this downward direction. Okay, so it's not correct. Option D is not correct. So let's clear this and clear this. Yeah, let's impute the values for option B. So we have it to be negative. Now guys, note, make use of this negative sign here, this one, not this one. Okay, so this is the right one to use. in this situation. Okay, so you have, when you're starting a value, okay, with negative sign, I recommend you use this one. So we have minus 1.9, okay, x, then we have plus 10.1. Alright, so that is right. Yeah, we are good to go. Let's grab this, press grab button. Exactly. So this is the same thing what we have here. Okay, this is the direction the graph is taking. So the right answer is option B. It's as simple as this. So this is basically how you can deal with problems like this, how to graph solutions on the TI-84 plus edition calculator is and fast for your multiple choice questions in SAT. Hopefully something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we're going to learn how to solve this SAT math question easy and fast. Alright, the question is under quadratic equation. So let's get started. The question says, what is one of the solutions to the given equation? Now, for this particular question, to save time, we're going to work with factorization method, which is faster. If you are using the quadratic formula, it's going to take you much time compared to factorization method. Alright, so let's get started. You can also use difference of two square technique to solve this, but that one will take longer time, alright, than quadratic formula. So it will take the longest time actually. So let's solve with the factorization method. Now, for your information, this TI-84 plus edition calculator can not, solve this kind of problem straightforward. So that feature is not embedded in this calculator to solve it straightforward. But if you're using the TI-84 plus CE edition of this calculator, is straightforward there. Alright, so I have a video on it already. It's very straightforward with that latest edition of the TI-84 plus CE calculator. But with this edition, the feature is not embedded here. Alright, but if you want to manipulate it with this calculator, do you can, but it's not that clear, like it's not that straightforward. So it's better you do it manually if this is a calculator you are using a simple edition. Alright, so let's solve this manually with factorization method. Very easy. I'll show you. Okay, so let's solve this. So we have, I'm going to replace this z square with x, okay, which is what we are familiar with. So this is x square plus 10x minus 24 equals 0, right? So to factorize this, you ask yourself, what are two numbers, and when you multiply them you get negative 24, when you add they get 10. So the two numbers will be, we have minus 2 and 12. So minus 2 times 12 will give you minus 24, then minus 2 plus 12 will give you 10. Alright, so the equation will not change. We have x square minus 2x, okay, plus 12x minus 24 equals 0. So let's begin to factorize. Alright, so firstly we are going to have x square minus 2x in bracket, then we have 12x minus 24. We want to split it, so right now let's factorize. We have, what the common value, we have x in bracket x minus 2, then the common value here we have it to be is 12. Yeah, we have 12, okay, this plus 12 actually, let's say plus 12 in brackets, but I don't need putting the plus sign, okay, is it can be invisible, we can still put it, okay. So we have 12 in brackets x, okay, minus, so what we're going to have here will be 2. So at this juncture we're almost done. As you can see, what we have here in this bracket, okay, similar to what we have here in this bracket. Alright, so this will not be, permit me to wipe somewhere to complete this solution. So let me just wipe this equation here to complete the solution. Follow me, guys. This is interesting. So right now we're going to have, let's bring what we have in common. So we have x plus 12 and we have x minus 2, okay, or equals or 0. Remember, you have to be equating this to 0, very important. So right now x, we have two values, okay, so you now have x plus 12 equals 0 and x minus 2 equals 0. So our x will now be, x will have two values, right? x1 and x2. So when you make x formula here, x plus 12 equals 0, this 12 will cross over the equality sign and change to negative. So our x will be negative 12, and so in this place this negative 2 cross over this equality sign and we change to plus. So our x will now be negative 12 and 2. Okay, so let's verify. When you plug in, when the value of x is 2, when you plug it in this equation we have, we're going to have 0. So 2 square will give you 4, and 10 times 2 will give you 20. So 4 plus 20, 24, 24 minus 24 will give you 0. So this value of x as 2 is valid. What I want, x is negative 12. When you plug it here, so you're going to have negative 12 square will give you 144. About 10 times negative 12 will give you minus 120. So you're going to have 144 minus 120 will give you 24. Yeah, so 24 minus 24 will give you 0. So this negative 12 as the value of x is still valid. Alright, so the value for x for this question is either negative 12 or 2, but we usually take the positive value, which is 2. So guys, this is basically I can deal with this kind of problem manually without the calculator. But remember, if you're using the TI-84 plus CE edition of the calculator, check my video on how to solve quadratic equations with it. Is easier there and faster. You'll be glad you did. But if you're using this CE edition, you won't be able to do this straightforward on a calculator unless you want to manipulate it. Okay, so hope there's something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video we're going to learn how to solve this math question using the calculator. Alright, so let's solve it together. The question says bacteria are growing in a liquid growth medium. There were 300,000 cells per milliliter during an initial observation. The number of cells per milliliter doubles every 3 hours. How many cells per milliliter will there be 15 hours after the initial observation? So guys, this question, all you need is to be able to interpret it correctly and you'll be good to go. So there's nothing, advanced we are going to compute on a calculator, just your reasoning level, and you'll be able to figure this question. So this question student can solve in seconds, alright, without even punching the calculator. But let's do it together, guys. So from the question, cells double every 3 hours, right? So after 15 hours it's going to be 15 hours, okay, equals 5 doubling intervals, okay. So 300,000 cells will now be 300, okay, 1000 times, okay, 2 to the power 5. So now we're going to solve it to get the value of what you're looking for. You see how many cells per liter will there be 15 hours after the initial observation. Okay, so since it's 15 hours, it equals 5 doubling intervals. So these two represent the doubling intervals. Okay, then we have 5 doubling intervals. So this is how you're going to represent it to get the correct value or what you're looking for. So let me calculate and punch this. So this will be 300,000, alright, times we have 2 to the power 5. 2 to the power 5 is same as 32, right? 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So let's just remove this and represent it with 32. Okay, press enter. So we have it to be what? 9,600,000. Okay, so that will be the number of cells you're going to have per milliliter in 15 hours. Okay, how many cells per milliliter will there be 15 hours after the initial observation? So you're going to have 9,600,000 cells per milliliter in 15 hours after the initial observation. Option D, the right answer. So let's continue training the video. That's the video, guys. In this video, we're going to learn how to solve this short math question. Easy and fast. So let's get started. The question says Vivian bought party hats and cupcakes for $71. Each package of party hat costs $3 and each cupcake costs $1. If Vivian bought 10 packages of party hats, how many cupcakes did she buy? Alright, so for this kind of question, you have to be able to interpret it correctly first and express it mathematically correctly for you to get the correct answer. Alright, so let's do it together, guys. So now we're going to call the party hat X and the cupcake Y. Okay, that's the expression mathematically we're going to use to get the right answer to this question. So if Vivian bought, okay, if each package of party hat that Vivian bought is costing $3, so it's going to be, remember the party hat is represented as X, so it's going to be 3x plus, and the cupcake is costing, and each cupcake costs $1, so it's under 1 times y, and that's y. Okay, equals 71, okay, dollars. So when I ask if Vivian bought 10 packages of party hat, remember the party hat is represented as X, so how many cupcakes did she buy? So it's going to be 3 times 10 packages of party hats. That's 3 times 10 plus y equals 71. So this gives you 30 plus y equals 71. So to make y, so the formula, that's the cupcake. So y will be 71 minus this will cross over the equality sign. So it will be 71 minus 30, which give you was 41. Okay, so this shows us that Vivian, if Vivian bought 10 packages of party hats, how many cupcakes did she buy? So this shows that she bought 41 cupcakes. Okay, so that's the answer to this question. So basically, we don't even need to punch anything on the calculator. So the question is straightforward. Once you're able to interpret it correctly and express mathematically correctly, you're good to go. Hope you learned something interesting in the video. Let's call it a video, guys. In this video, we're going to learn how to solve this short math question easy and fast. Alright, so this question is under angles. So let's look at the question. It says the right triangle LMN and PQR are similar, where L and M correspond to P and Q respectively. So angle M has a measure of 53 degrees. What is the measure of angle Q? Alright, so guys, looking at this quiz, I don't think we need to punch anything on this calculator to solve it. Alright, so this is simple geometry principle you need to apply to get the answer. Alright, so looking at this question, knowing the fact that corresponding angles in similar triangles are congruent. Alright, so the angle M here equals the angle Q here. Since our angle M has a measure of 53 degrees, so basically it means that the angle Q will still be 53 degrees. Alright, since it is a corresponding angles, and corresponding angles in similar triangles are congruent, so angle M equals angle Q. So the right answer to this question is option B, 53 degrees. So let's call it a video here. Hope you don't interest in the video. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this maths question using this TI-84 plus CV edition scientific calculator. Okay, so let's get started. The question is under factorization. So it says which expression is equivalent to what we have here. Okay, now let me show you can do this manually and verify the answer of the calculator, right? So this is a question. If you are factorizing what you have here, so it's going to have 6xy. Okay, yeah, we are going to have 6xy. Okay, 6x square y square in brackets. So what we're going to have here now would be x to the power 6. Okay, then you're going to have plus, then here you're going to have 2. So this will be the answer. When you multiply what we have outside, what we have inside, you get back to this expression. Okay, so this is basically the answer to this question. The right answer is option C, right? But let's verify what we just solved with the calculator and see if we're going to get the same value. So this is a TI-84 plus CV edition. The very first thing to do will be to reset. We say press second, then this plus button for the instruction, press 7 to reset all, then press 1 for all 1, press 2 and it will reset. We're good to go. Right now I'm going to store x and y as values on the calculator, of which I'm going to work with 2, and I recommend 2 to be on the safer side. 2 works in most cases. So let's store 2 as x. To store value on the calculator, you press the number 2. We want to store it as x, press the store button. So to bring out x, press the button, press enter. 2 will be stored as x. Okay, let's store 2 as y as well. So press 2, press store. Then to bring out the y alphabet, you press alpha and this one button. To come out, press enter. So both x and y are stored as 2 on this calculator. We're good to go. So let's use this stored value to evaluate or simplify the question. So let's represent this question on the calculator. So we have 6x square. Okay, sorry, that's 6. Let's start from the beginning. We have, let's clear everything. So we have 6x to the power 8. So you make use of this button for power. So power 8 come down. We have y, press alpha and this one button, y will come out. Okay, to the power 2, that's y square. Yeah, we have plus 12. Okay, x, press this button for x square. This is square, y square alpha and this button. So this is for square. So that's it, right? This is what we have here. Let's press enter equal to see the output. We have 6336. So right now we're going to simplify option C with the same store value for x and y, and see if we're going to have 6336. If we get it, that will be a proof that this solution is indeed correct. Okay, so remember I have 6336 here. So let's check option C. So we have 6, okay, x square. Okay, we have y square in brackets. We have x to the power 6, you come down plus 2. So that's it. Close the bracket. Let's press enter and see we're going to have 6336 thereabout. That was what it cost, right? Let's press the enter button to check this. Exactly 6336. So right answer is option C. So guys, this is basically how you can do the problems involving factorization like this with the TI-84 plus CB edition scientific calculator. In second, for more future questions and SATs, both the manual and calculator method are easier. So anyone you feel like using, you are free to use. Okay, so let's something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this SAT math question easily and fast. So the question is under statistics. Let's look at it and see whether it's something we need a calculator to solve faster. So the question says the frequency table summarizes the 57 data values in a data set. What is the maximum data value in the data set? Okay, so guys, looking at this question, this is very cheap. Alright, you don't even need the calculator at all to solve this question. So just looking at this question, I already identified that the answer is 14. Okay, so this is the column for data value, this is the column for frequency. So the data value 14 has a frequency of 6. Okay, this 14 value we have here is the highest number listed. So this shows us that the maximum data value in the data set, the maximum is highest, right? So the maximum is 14. 14 will answer this question. So it's as simple as this. So this is how you can deal with this kind of problem easily and fast. You don't even need a calculator to punch to figure the answer out. So just looking at it and having basic understanding that this is what it will be. So hope there's something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we're going to learn how to solve this SAT math question easily and fast. Alright, so this question is under circle theorem thereabouts. So it says a circle in the xy plane has a diameter with endpoints. So these are the endpoints, and this, and the equation of this circle is this, where r is a positive constant. What is the value of r? So firstly, let's get the midpoint of the endpoint. So as we all know, the formula for getting midpoint of a circle, we have it to be, so x1 plus x2 over 2 and y1 plus y2 over 2. So in this expression we have here, this is our x1, these are x2, these are y1, these are y2. So our x1, we have it to be 2 plus 2 over 2, and we have 4 plus 14 over 2. So when you simplify this, you're going to have 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 divided by 2. So we have it, the midpoint to be 2, and 4 plus 14 is 8, 8 divided by 2, 9. So we have them to be 2 and 9 respectively. Okay, so let me wipe some parts. This is the formula to apply to get midpoints of the endpoint. Okay, so now let's solve for the main question now. We have to find. Okay, so remember we have the midpoint to be, let me put the midpoint to be 2 and 9. Okay, this is 9, guys. So we asked where r is a positive constant. What's the value of r radius? Now the r radius will be half the distance between the endpoint. Okay, and as we all know, the distance between the endpoints in a question like this, or basically to calculate the distance between endpoint coordinate geometry, this is the formula you apply. Distance d equals square root of, so we have in brackets x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. So as we all know, this will give us, so the x2 is 2 minus 2 square plus we have 14 minus 4 square. So when you break this down, you're going to have let me complete it here. So you're going to have 2, so this will give us 0. 2 minus 2 is 0, 0 square is 0. So we're left with 14 minus 4 is 10. 10 square is 100. So square root of 100 give us 10. So that the radius being half of the distance between the endpoints. So half of 10 will equate to 5. Alright, so 5 is the answer to this question. Okay, so the value of R is 5. So this is how you can basically deal with problem like this under coordinate geometry. Hope there's something interesting from the video. Let's go to the video here, guys, if you're new. So in this question, you don't even need a calculator to solve anything, right? So we didn't punch anything in the calculator, just knowing the right formula or procedure and you're good to go. Okay, so let's go to the video. In this video, we're going to learn how to solve this short math question easy and fast. Okay, so the question is under circle theorem. So it says circle A has a radius of 3n and circle B has a radius of 139n, where n is a positive constant. The area of circle B is how many times the area of circle A? Okay, so I don't think we need to punch most of the things on this calculator to solve it. Okay, all we need here is basic understanding. We're going to solve it manually, and it's very easy manual. I will show you. So as we all know, the area of a circle is pi r square, right? Now for circle A, it will be, circle A has a radius of 3n. So what this means, it will be pi 3n square, and circle B has, this is B, guys, has a radius of 129n. So it will be pi in brackets 129n square. So from the law of indices, we want to remove this bracket, so this square here will enter the bracket and get to each of the values here. So we have 3 and n. So basically what it means is we're going to have our circle A will be pi 3 square n square, and our circle B will be pi 129 square n square. Okay, so let's wipe some parts and complete this solution. Okay, so at this juncture we're going to have, let's get the value of 129 square, sorry, so we have 129 square. What will be the value? So we have it to be this, we have it to be 16,641. So to now get the final answer, you see the area of circle B is how many times the area of circle A. So what we are going to do to get the final result would be to divide the area of circle B with the area of circle A. When you divide, you will know how many times the area of circle B will be higher than the area of circle A. So it's going to give us, we have 16,641. Okay, over this will give us pi. So remember we have our n square here, so our 3 square is 9 n square. So this pi cancel by this n square cancels n square, so we are left with 16,641 divided by 9. This is what it's going to give us. So answer divide by 9, what will be the output? So that will be 1,849. So the right answer to this question is option D. Okay, so this basically can deal this kind of problem. Alright, for your start mass, especially in circle theory like this, the side of the circle with the highest value, you use it to divide the one with the lower value, and you get the difference. Okay, so hope there's something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this start mass question. Alright, so the question is under arithmetic and conversion. So let's look at it. It says a certain town has an area of 4.36 square miles. What is the area in square yards of this town? Where 1 mile equals 1760 yards. Okay, so to solve this question, we already have in bracket, they say if 1 mile equals this. So what we are going to do now would be, what will be the value of the yard in square? So 1 mile square equals 1760 square yards. Okay, so let's point use a calculator and see the output is going to give us. Alright, so we have 1760 square, 1760 square. So we have it to be 3,097,600. This output will give us 3,097,600 square. Okay, so now to get the area of the town in square yards, what you do will not be get the total of the values we have here. So it will be 4.36 times this value we just got. So let's punch this on the calculator. Okay, so this will be times answer times 4.36. What will the output? We have it to be 30,505,536 yard square. Okay, so that would answer this question, option D. So this basically can deal with problems like the other conversion for your start mass. Hope you learned something interesting from the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this start mass question together. Alright, so let's get started. Let's look at the question and see whether it's something we need a calculator to solve faster. So the question says Tilly earns $P for every W hours of work. Which expression represents the amount of money in dollars Tilly earns for 39 W hours of work? So guys, this kind of question, we don't need a calculator to solve it. It's just simple logic and common sense to identify the right answer. So looking at the nature of the question, this shows us that the currency, which is the dollar, here is proportional to the hours of work. So if Tilly earns $P for every W hours of work, now Tilly will also earn $39 for 39 W hours of work. So the right answer to this question is option A. Okay, so the earning is proportional to the hours of work. Alright, so that's the idea behind this question. The right answer is option A. So that's how you can deal with problems like this. Hope there's something interesting from this video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this start mass question easy and fast. Alright, so let's look at it together and see whether it's something the calculator can help us to solve faster. The question says, for a training program, Joan rides his bike at an average rate of 5.7 minutes per mile. which function M models the number of minutes it will take Juan to ride X miles at this rate. Okay, so guys, for this question, this is simple proportional question. I don't think we need a calculator to solve this, so let's do it together. So to show this manually or represent it mathematically, you begin by saying if Juan rides his bike at an average rate of 5.7 minutes per mile, so at 5.7 minutes we have 1 mile. Okay, then it's asking us which function M models the number of minutes it will take Juan to ride X miles at this rate. So we don't know the number of minutes, let's call it X. We have X miles. Okay, so when you cross multiply, you're going to have that M in brackets X miles equals 5.7 X. So the right function model, the right function model for this expression we have here is option D. Okay, so that's the answer to this question. We don't need anything to punch the calculator to figure all this out. Okay, so this is the answer to this question. This is how I can represent this question mathematically. Okay, so let's get the video, guys. Hope it's not interesting. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this math question easily and fast. Alright, so let's get the question together and solve it. The question says this is systems of equation. Basically, it says the solution to the given system of equations is when we back x and y, what is the value of y? Alright, so guys, for this particular question, in one of my videos I recorded already on systems of equation, the first video on systems of equation, I talked about the fact that this TI-84 plus CV edition calculator does not have the feature to be able to solve systems of equation in a straightforward way. Alright, but if you are using the TI-84 plus CE edition of the calculator, is able to solve the systems of equation straightforward. So I have a video on it already. For this video, I'm going to practice with the manual method, alright, and which is very easy. I'm going to show you. We do it together and you see it. So this is systems of equation. Alright, so let's call this equation 1. Call this is, let me write this way. Okay, so let's call this equation 1, call this equation 2. Okay, so guys, for this particular system of equation, in the first version of this kind of equation we solve, we use the elimination method, which work perfectly. So for this one, elimination method we know that work easily, so we're going to use substitution method to solve it. You want to solve systems of equation, there are two methods you can use, either substitution method or elimination method, depending on the one that will work easier for you. So for this one, substitution will work easier, so we'll experiment with it. So what we're going to do now, we're asked to find the value of y. So to get the value of y, let's get the value of x first. So to get the value of x, we make x the same formula in equation 1. So this equation 1, right? 3x equals 12. Divide both sides by 3. Remember, we want to get the value of y, so to get it, we want to make x the formula in equation 1 to be able to get the value of y. Okay, in substitution, so divide both sides by 3. So our x equals 4. Now let's substitute the value of x in this equation 2 we have. So this will give us minus 3 in bracket 4 plus y equals negative 6. So then we have minus 12 plus y equals negative 6. So we want to make y solid formula. This negative 12 equals over the equality sign change to plus. We're going to have minus 6 plus 12, which gives us was 6. So the value of y is was 6, option B. So when x is 4, y is 6, let's experiment. Okay, so when x is 4, when you plug in 4 here, you're going to have 3 times 4, 12. That's valid. Now when you plug in 4 here and plug in the value of y here, so this will give you minus 3 times 4, that's minus 12. Then minus 12 plus 6, you're going to have negative 6, so this is valid. Okay, so the right answer to this question for y is B, 6. Okay, so that's how I can deal with systems of equation problem like this using substitution method. Hope there's something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we're going to learn how to solve this math question easy and fast. Alright, so let's look at the question and see whether it's something to use a calculator to solve. So the question says the equation gives the speed x in miles per hour of a certain car t seconds after it began to accelerate. What is the speed in miles per hour of the car 5 seconds after it began to accelerate? So guys, for this kind of question, I don't think we need a calculator to solve it faster, so we can do it manually faster. So all you need to do is just to substitute the value of the time we have here into the equation for t. Okay, so let's do it together. This will give us, we're looking for what is the speed. So the speed x will be 40, okay, plus the value of t of the car 5 seconds, so it will be 5 times 3 times 5 rather. Okay, so our speed will be 40 plus 15, could you give us what? 55. Okay, so speed is 55, option D. Alright, and the unit of speed is distance over time, so it's meter per seconds. Okay, so that's the answer to this question, 55 meter per seconds. Hope there's something interesting from the video. Let's go to the video, guys. We don't need a calculator to solve this kind of problem. In this video, we're going to learn how to solve this math problem easy and fast. Okay, so let's look at the question together and see whether there is something the calculator will be needed to solve faster. So the question says we have a right angle triangle here. It says note figure not drawn to scale. For the right triangle shown, a equals 4 and b equals 5, which expression represents the value of c? So guys, all you need here is just the knowledge of Pythagoras theorem and you'll be good to go. And we know that Pythagoras theorem states that in a right angle triangle, the square of the hypotenuse equals the sum of the squares on the other two sides. Okay, so this is usually our hypotenuse, the longest side of the triangle. Okay, so this is our opposite and this is our adjacent. Okay, and we have the value of a to be 4, the value of b to be 5, and the value of c is unknown. So from the Pythagoras theorem, this is going to be which expression represents the value of c? So it will be c square equals, we have 4 square plus 5 square. Okay, to make c solid formula, you square root both sides. Okay, so our c will be square root of 4 square plus 5 square. Okay, so the right answer is option D. So we don't need a calculator to punch anything. Okay, so that's it for this question. It's as simple as this. Hope there's something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this math question easy and fast. Okay, so let's get started. The question says the x-intercept of the graph shown is, we have in bracket x and 0. What is the value of x? So they are not asking us of the y-intercept. Okay, intercept simply means where the straight line, if it's a straight line graph, or where the curve, if it is a quadratic graph, you know, touches or gets to the line for the y-axis or x for the x-axis, right, their respective lines. Okay, so in this situation here now, we are talking about the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So when you check this curve is touching the x-axis at this point. Let me demonstrate, let me show you. Look at it, this point here. Okay, so this point is at 0.7. so this shows us that the x-intercept of the graph, the value of x here is 7. Okay, because this is the positive x-axis. Okay, whereas this is the negative x-axis. Alright, so assuming the curve was at this place, it would have been -7, but since it is at the positive x-axis, so the right answer is 7, +7. So the value of x here is 7. Okay, so that's the answer to this question. So at the beginning we are talking about y-intercept. You would have considered this vertical line here. Okay, but since you're talking about the x-intercept, we consider the horizontal line, which is where the x-axis is, the y-axis is at the vertical line. So hopefully something interesting from this explanation. It has made your understanding much better around intercept of graph. So let's call the video, guys. We don't need the calculator to solve this kind of problem. Okay, so let's call the video. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this math question easily and fast. Alright, so let's call the question together and solve it. The question says this is systems of equation. Basically, it says the solution to the given system of equations is when we back x and y, what's the value of y? Alright, so guys, for this particular question, in one of my videos I recorded already on systems of equation, the first video on systems of equation, I talked about the fact that this TI-84 plus CV edition calculator does not have the feature to be able to solve systems of equation in a straightforward way. Alright, but if you are using the TI-84 plus CE edition of the calculator, is able to solve the systems of equation straightforward. So I have a video on it already. For this video, I'm going to practice with the manual method. Alright, and which is very easy. I'm going to show you. We do it together and you see it. So this is systems of equation. Alright, so let's call this equation 1. Call this is, let me write this way. Okay, so let's call this equation 1. Call this equation 2. Okay, so guys, for this particular system of equation, in the first version of this kind of equation we solve, we use the elimination method, which work perfectly. So for this one, elimination method we not that work easily, so we're going to use substitution method to solve it. You want to solve systems of equation, there are two methods you can use, either substitution method or elimination method, depending on the one that will work easier for you. So for this one, substitution will work easier, so we'll experiment with it. So what we're going to do now, we're asked to find the value of y. So to get the value of y, let's get the value of x first. So to get the value of x, we make x the same formula in equation 1. So this equation 1, right? 3x equals 12. Divide both sides by 3. Remember, we want to get the value of y, so to get it, we want to make x the formula in equation 1 to be able to get the value of y. Okay, in substitution, so divide both sides by 3, so our x equals 4. Now let's substitute the value of x in this equation 2 we have. So this will give us -3 in bracket 4 plus y equals -6. So then we have -12 plus y equals -6. So we want to make y solid formula. This -12 crosses over the equality sign, change to plus. We're going to have -6 plus 12, which gives us 6. So the value of y is 6, option B. So when x is 4, y is 6. Let's experiment. Okay, so when x is 4, when you plug in 4 here, you're going to have 3 times 4, 12. That's valid. Now when you plug in 4 here and plug in the value of y here, so this will give you minus 3 times 4, that's minus 12. Then minus 12 plus 6, again you have negative 6, so this is valid. Okay, so the right answer to this question for y is B, 6. Okay, so that I can do with systems of equation problem like this using substitution method. Hope there's something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this math question easy and fast. Alright, so let's look at the question and solve it together. The question says the function f is defined by f of x equals 1 over 10x minus 2. What is the y-intercept of the graph of y equals f of x in the xy plane? Alright, so guys, as usual, I've always said that in algebra, f of x something as y. Okay, now note that whenever you're asked to find the y-intercept of a graph, the x-coordinate is always 0. On the other way around, if you are being asked to find the s-intercept of a graph, the y-coordinate will be 0. Okay, so in this, I don't think that this question we need this calculator to solve it. You just basic understanding and you will figure it out. Maybe looking at the question, I have already figured out that the right answer to this question is option B. Okay, so let me show you why is option B. Now this is something as y equals 1 over 10x minus 2. So since we are looking for the y-intercept, means that the x coordinate is 0. So where you see x, you plug in 0, so we have x here. Okay, so this is going to be y equals 1 over 10 times 0 negative 2. So 1 over 10 times 0 something as 0, so that means our y equals negative 2. So this shows us that y equals f of s in the s plane will be the coordinates will be when x is 0, y is negative 2. Alright, so the answer is option B. It's as simple as this. So we don't need this TI-84 plus CP addition calculator to punch anything. Hope there's something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. If you are new to this channel, you should subscribe to this channel by hitting the subscribe button for more of these videos. So like, share and comment on this video. Tell me how you feel for what you learned from the video. If you seem to have this specific question to ask regarding what I talked about in the video, feel free to leave a question in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to give you a response. Also ensure about the channel membership by clicking on the join button, so I'll be getting premium information how to solve the similar sort math question we can join on meeting. Alright, so having done this, click on the next button. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this math question. It's not fast. Alright, so let's get it and solve it together. The question says, which other pair x, y is a solution to the given system of equations? Alright, so they are looking at the value of x and y respectively in this system of equation. Okay, so for this question, we are going to use the elimination method to solve this system of equation. Okay, so let's do it manually, which is very easy. Manually solving this kind of problem. If you want to do it with the calculator, this TI-84 plus silver edition does not support solving system of equation in a straight way. Alright, so we are going to practice manually and show you it's very easy. But if you are using the TI-84 plus CE current edition of this calculator, I have a video on it on how to solve system of equation using that edition of the calculator, that current edition. But if you are using this edition, we are going to do it manually, and you will see that it's easy. Okay, so this is our equation 1, this is our equation 2. Okay, now let's make SY formula in equation 1. So to make SY formula, this 7 cross over the equality sign change to negative 7. So our x will be 10 minus 7, which gives us what, 3. So now when x is 3, let's find the value of y. What you need to do is to substitute the value of x in this equation 2. So we're going to have 3 plus 7 square equals y. So 3 plus 7 is 10. So you have 10 square equals y. So when you apply law of indices, so remove this bracket, this square will go into the bracket. So we have 10 square equals y. 10 square is what? 100 equals y. So when x is 3, y is what? 100. So the right answer to this question is what? Option A. When x is 3, y is what? 100. So it's as simple as this. This basically can solve this kind of problem involving system of equation when you're applying substitution method manually. This is how you can do it manually. Alright, so you don't need a calculator to solve it. It's very easy manually. Okay, so hope there's something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this short math question easily and fast using the TI-84 plus CV edition scientific calculator. Alright, so let's get started. The question says which expression is equivalent to this. So guys, in this question I'm going to solve manually first before solving the calculator. Both methods are easy. Okay, so let's begin manually. So to simplify this expression we have here, we are looking for the equivalence, right, in the options we have. So let's simplify what we have. So this is going to be, we have 7x cubed plus 7x. Okay, then if we want to remove the brackets, this negative sign multiply what we have inside. So we're going to have, firstly is going to change this negative sign side to plus. Negative times negative, you have plus. We're going to have minus times 6s cubed. We're going to have, okay, minus 6s cubed. Then we have plus 3x. So you collect like terms. So when you collect like terms, we're going to have 7x cubed, okay, minus 6s cubed. We have plus 7x, okay, plus 3x. This is 3. So 7s cubed minus 6s cubed, we're going to have s cubed, 7x plus 7x plus 10x. So this will be the answer. The right answer is option A. Okay, so let's verify this answer with the calculator now. So let's do it together. The very first thing to do it will be to use the calculator. To say press shift, press second rather, this plus button, then go for option 7 reset, then go for 1 to reset R1, press 2 and you're good to go. So we're going to store a value on this calculator. We're going to store x as 2 in the calculator, which I highly recommend. You can choose to pass with other values, but I highly recommend 2 to be on the safer side. So store x as 2, you press 2, okay, store 1 to store it as x, press enter, you press this button for x to come out. So x is now stored as 2. Yes, you use it to simplify this expression. So we have in bracket 7x, okay, to the power, make use of this button for power, the power 3, you come down, okay, plus 7x, okay, close the bracket, we have minus, open bracket, 6x to the power 3, okay, come down, we have minus 3x. So that's what we have there, right? You close the bracket. Okay, we are good to go. Let's press the enter button. We have 28. So right now we're going to check option A and see if we're going to get 28. Let's simplify option A. Okay, so we have x cube, okay, come down, plus 10x. So that's what we have there, right? Yes. So let's press enter now to see we're going to get 28 exactly. So this is how you can do this with the calculator and also do manually if you want. Hope there's something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video we are going to learn how to solve this short math problem easily and fast using the TI-84 plus CV edition scientific calculator. Alright, so let's get started. The question says the function p is defined by p of n equals 7n cubed. What is the value of n when p of n is equal to 56? So guys, we're going to solve this question both manually and with the calculator. So we're going to begin with the manual method first, and it's very easy as well. We're going to see it together. So let's get started. So when p of n is equals 56, what this means is that where I see p of n, you replace it with 56. So we have 56 equals 7n cubed. Okay, so we want to make n solid formula, right? So divide both sides by 7. Okay, so 56 divided by 7, you're going to have 8 equals n cube. So we want to make n solid formula, so you cube root both sides. Okay, cube root both sides. So this cube cancel this cube root. So cube root of 8 is 2. Right answer is option A. Alright, because 2 times 2 times 2 will give you 8. So that's it for this question. Let's do this with the calculator. Okay, this is a calculator. The very first thing to do is we say press second button, then press the plus button, press 7 to reset, press 1 for R1, then press 2 to reset. So it's done. Now you're going to make use of the equation solver. You go to your math, navigate up, so solver, this is it, press enter. So we're going to make this equation to balance with the default of the calculator. So we're going to equate everything to 0. So let's do it here. This is going to give us 0 equals 7. Let's replace n with x cubed. So 56 crossing over, we change to minus 56. Okay, so let's put it on the calculator. So we have 7x cubed. So to bring our cube, make use of this function button. Okay, to the power 3. Alright, we're good to go. Then we have minus 56. Okay, press enter, assign x a value, it's assigned 0. Then to solve, press alpha and this enter button to solve it. We're going to get 2. So you see the value of x is what, 2. So either way we work, either calculator method or manual method, you get 2. So this I can deal with problems like this using the TI-84 plus CV edition calculator. Instead comes from multiple choice questions. So if you learn something interesting in the video, let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we're going to learn how to solve this math problem easy and fast using the TI-84 plus CV edition calculator. So the question is under statistics. Okay, so we have the question says a list of 10 data values is shown. What is the mean of this data? So guys, before we begin this, we said okay, to put in default mode, we say press second, then this plus button, press 7 to reset, then press 1 for R1, press 2 to reset. So it's done. Next thing now, we need to go to the statistics mode on this calculator. So to solve statistics with this calculator, we press the start button. Once you press it, press option 1 for edit. Okay, then let's input the values for list 1. We only have one list here. Alright, admin we also have the frequency column on data. We would have made use of both list 1 and list 2, but since we only have only one data, alright, a list of 10 data, we're going to work with only one list, which is list 1. There's no frequency list. So let's input the values for list 1, which is this data we have below. So we have 6, enter. We have 8, enter. We have 16. Alright, follow me guys. We have 4, we have 17, we have 26, we have 8, we have 5, we have 5, and we have 5 again. Yeah, so we are good to go, guys. Now to get the mean of this data, you press this start button again. So this time I want to go to this calc, navigate to calc, and when you get here, go for option 1 variable statistics. Okay, press 1. Now this is list 1, right? So all you need to do is to press enter. It will be going down to get this calculate. Okay, press enter again for it to get to calculate. Now it's now at the calculate, is indicating calculate, right? Press enter now to see the answer. So as you can see, the mean, which is the S bar, is 10. Okay, so the mean of this data is 10. That's the right answer. And then we are asked to find the standard deviation. We have sample standard deviation here, x, which is 7.27. We have the population standard deviation, which is 6.89. Alright, so this is the number of the data. There are 10 values there, which is 10. If you navigate down, you see other values. So minimum value of x, we have the first quartile, we have the median, we have the third quartile, and maximum value of x, which is 26. Okay, so is as simple as this, guys. This is basically how you can find various statistics values using this TI-84 plus century calculator. So it's as simple as this. Hope you learned something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this short math question easy and fast. Alright, so let's get started. The question says, what is the minimum value of the given function? We have g of s equals s squared plus 55. So guys, for this kind of question, you don't necessarily need a calculator to solve it. You just basic understanding and you will be good to go. So when you are given this kind of question, you have to find the minimum value of the given function. Firstly, you have to consider the number line. So as we all know, this is the number line. This is the midpoint 0. These are positive values. These are negative values. We have values from 1, 2, we have -1, -2, and the rest of them. Okay, now the neutral value here is 0, right? So you firstly begin with this neutral value. Of course, that's what will indicate the minimum value in most cases. Alright, so when you plug in 0 for the value of x, so g of x, as we all know, you can replace g of x with y. Okay, the both can serve. Right, so we have g of s equals 0 square plus 55. So 0 square is still 0, so 0 plus 55, you have what? 55. Now when you check, aside from 0, when you use any other value aside from 0, if you use 1, when you plug in 1, now you're going to have 1 square plus 55. Now 1 plus 55, you're going to have 56. When the value of x is 1, when the value of x is 2, you're going to have 2 squared, that's 4. 4 plus 55, you're going to have 59, as in that order. Alright, because of this square, whatever value you use at this positive angle, either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as the case may be, will give you the same output when you use negative values. Either you use -1, -2, -3. For instance, square of 2 is 4. Square of -2 is still 4. Alright, so you will still be getting the same output. So from this explanation, you can decode or easily identify that the value that will give you the minimum output for the function will be 0 as the neutral number in this number line. Alright, so 0 gave us 55 as the minimum value of the function. So after 55, this value you see will be 56. That's when the value of x is 1. Next one is 59. The value of x is 2. When the value of x is 3, you get a higher value. So this shows us that the right answer to this question is option B, 55. Okay, what is the minimum value of the given function? The minimum value is 55 when the value of x is 0. Alright, so we don't need the calculator to solve this. Alright, so let's learn something interesting from the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we're going to learn how to solve this short math question easy and fast. So let's get started. The question says, if 4x minus 4 equals 112, what is the positive value of x minus 1? Alright, so guys, this stroke we have that enclosing this 4x minus 4, alright, the stroke signifies absolute values. It means that the value at the left side of this equation has to be a positive value. Okay, so let's solve this manually before you can punch it in the calculator. Alright, this is simple algebra. Okay, so we have 4x minus 4 equals 112. Let's make s the formula. So this will cross over, I will change the positive. So we're going to have 4x equals 112 plus 4, which gives us what? 116. Divide both sides by 4. Okay, so our x will be what? 116 divided by 4, we're going to have 29. So the question says, what's the positive value of x minus 1? So when x is 29, this will give us 29 minus 1. So the right final answer of this question was 28. Alright, so that's the final answer to this question. Alright, so if you want to solve this with the calculator, the simple algebra we just did here, okay, linear equation algebra we just did, this is the calculator. The first thing to do is to say press second, press plus button, then press 7, press 1 to reset our, press 2, I'll be good to go. So let's go to equation solver. So this is it, solver, press enter. So let's make this equation to have the default of this calculator. For this calculator, the left hand side of the equation is 0. So from the onset here, move everything we have here to this side. So the left hand side will now be 0. So we are going to have 0 equals 112, 4x crossing over, we're going to have minus 4x plus 4. So let's just do it. Let's just make it to be 112, okay, plus 4 minus 4x. Okay, keep same thing as 116 minus 4x. So let's use the calculator to solve this. So we're going to have 116, okay, minus 4x. So once you're done, press enter, assign x to be a value which is I recommend. That's it to solve. Press alpha and this enter button. So x is what? 29. Okay, you still get 29. To get the final answer, subtract this minus 1 from 29. So that's 29 minus 1. You have 28 as the final answer. So this is basically how you can do this kind of problem. This is not using either the calculator or the manual method. Hope there's something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this short maths problem easy and fast using the TI-84 plus addition centric calculator in seconds. Okay, so let's get started. The question says, which expression is equivalent to this, where a is greater than 0? So it means that the value of a will not be anything 0 and below. Okay, so it has to be from 1 and above. So looking at this question, we are not going to work with 1. The 1 is higher than 0. Why we won't work with 1 is because of 1 is linear for this kind of problem. Okay, so it will give you the same output. Okay, so that one will not be ideal for this kind of problem. So anything from 2 and above will serve. They will not give you a linear answer or give you the same output. Alright, considering the nature of the question and the options we have. Alright, so let's experiment with 2 to solve this question. You can use 3 to still work, but I'm going to use 2 to get the solution to this question. Now let's call our a to be 2. So what it means is that when a is 2, this will be 2 to the power 11 over 12. Let's evaluate in the calculator and see what's going to give us. So this will be 2 to the power, make use of this button for power. Now the power is in fraction. To bring out the fractional power, press this math. We already put the power symbol, so let's put the fraction. Now you press the smart button. Okay, so screw up. Okay, no, go to number. Yeah, screw up. So this is a fraction we need. Press enter. Yeah, so press 11 over 12. Let's see what's going to give us as output. We are 1.88. Now this is the output for this expression when a is 2. So right now we're going to evaluate the options. Anyone that gives us 1.88 will serve as the answer to this question, exactly this value 1.88. So let's begin with option A. Okay, so option A, we have 12 roots of a to the power 132. So to bring out this on the calculator, we are going to go to math. Yeah, so I think you scroll down, make use of this option 5. So we have, I got 1.88. so yeah, we have 12 roots. Sorry, remove this answer, delete here. So come back to this, we have our a is 2 to the power 132. Let's press enter. No, we got 1.88. So let's adjust, and if this can adjust on this calculator, or let's just remove it entirely. Okay, let's check for option B. So go back to maths, scroll down, it's option 5. Okay, so remove this answer, replace it with 144. Then in the bracket we have 2 to the power 132. So that's it. Let's see if we're going to have 1.88. If we get it, that will be the answer. Press enter. 1.88 is that. So the right answer to this question is option B. Alright, so this option 144 roots of 8 to the power 132 is equivalent to 8 to the power 1 over 8 to the power 11 over 12, where our a was replaced with 2. Okay, so it's as easy as this. So this is how you can tackle this kind of problem. If you check option C and D, you will not get the output of this 1.88. Feel free to check it, but I know you won't get 1.88. The right answer is option B. Okay, you can also use 3 and 4 in replacement for 2 to solve this kind of problem. Either way will work, but I'm just used to in this question. Hope there's something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we're going to learn how to solve this SAT math problem easy and fast. Alright, so let's get started. The question says, what is the diameter of the circle in the xy plane with equation? This equation equals 16. Alright, so looking at this question, I don't think we need a calculator to solve it. It's straightforward, it's just basic understanding of coordinate geometry. Okay, so as we all know, diameter is double the radius. Alright, so what you need now is to get the radius of this circle. Once you have it, you will get the diameter, right? So to get the radius, we already have the output to be 16. So this shows the distance to be 16. So to get the radius now, radius will be r square equal 16. Okay, so you make r subject formula. So to do the square root both sides, this will cancel this. So r is 4. Now since the radius is 4, diameter is double the radius, so diameter will now be 4 times 2, which gives us what, 8. So the right answer to this question is option B, 8. So this is basically how you can deal with this kind of problem. It's not fast for your start maths. We don't need this calculator to punch anything. Hope there's something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this SAT maths problem easy and fast. Alright, so let's get started. The question says, an event planner is planning a party. It costs the event planner a one-time fee of $35 to rent the venue and $10.25 per attendee. The event planner has a budget of $200. What is the greatest number of attendees possible without exceeding the budget? So guys, this is simple arithmetic. Okay, once you're able to do arithmetic properly, reason that very well, you can figure this question out. Okay, so let's just do it together. It's actually easy, and I will show you that it's easy, just simple logic and understanding. So for the question, firstly, you need to subtract this $35 from $200 and see what will be left. So $200 minus $35, you're going to have, so what you have left will be $165, right? Okay, so this is what we have left now. Because the question is, so the event planner has a budget of this, what is the greatest number of attendees possible without exceeding the budget? So now that we have this amount, when you subtract the one-time fee of $35, because the event planner one-time fee of $35 now, and to rent the venue, and $10.25 per attendee. Now, to know the greatest number of attendees possible without exceeding the budget, what you now do will be to divide this amount $165 with this amount of dollars per attendee. Okay, so let's punch this in the calculator, and that will be all. Okay, so this will be 165. Sorry, we are 165. Okay, divide 10.25. So whatever you get to be the number of attendees, the greatest number of attendees possible without exceeding the budget, press enter. So we have it was 16. So this shows us that the greatest number of attendees possible without exceeding the budget is 16. Okay, 16 attendees. So it's as simple as this. This basically can do the exam problem. It's simple logic and understand that you'll be good to go. Hope there's something interesting from the video. Let's get the video, guys. In this video, we're going to learn how to solve this start math problem. It's not fast. Let's get started. The question says a cube has an edge length of 68 inches. A solid sphere with a radius of 34 inches is inside this cube so that the sphere touches the center of each face of the cube to the nearest cubic inch. What is the volume of the space in a cube not taken up by the sphere? Alright, so guys, this question is under measurement, so we are going to need the formulas for volume of a cube and a sphere to be able to solve this. So let's begin with getting the formula for their respective volumes. So the volume of a cube, the formula is side of the length cube. Alright, since in a cube the side of the length are equal, okay, so the volume of a cube is this, whereas the volume of a sphere, we have it to be 4/3 pi r cube. Okay, now to get, we ask what is the volume of the space in the cube not taken up by the sphere. To get the volume of the space in the cube not taken up by the sphere, we're going to subtract the volume of the sphere from the volume of the cube. So the volume of the cube will be, we have the length, a cube has an edge length of 68 inches, so we have the length side to be 68, so this will be 68 cube minus the volume of a sphere, so we have 4/3 pi. Our radius in this sphere, we have a solid sphere with a radius of 34 inches, we have it to be times 34 cube. Okay, so this is what we're going to have. Let's punch this in the calculator to get it. Let's punch everything. So this is going to give us, we have 68 cube, make use of this function to put cube. Okay, it come down, then we have minus. Now a fraction, go to this math. Okay, you go to number, screw up, this is a fraction I'm looking for, then we have 4 over 3. Alright, then we have pi. To bring up pi on this calculator, we press second and this button, alright, times 34 cube, press 3, come down. So this is only what we have here for the solution represented on the calculator. So let's press the button now to see the output. Whatever we get will be the answer to this question. So let's press enter. So we have the output to be what? 149,795.7898. We are looking for what is the volume of the space in the cube not taken up by a sphere. So we have it to be this output. So we are asked to the nearest cubic inch. Okay, so to the nearest cubic inch, let's approximate this 7 is up to 5, right? So approximate as 1, so it will now be 149,796, okay, cubic inch. So the right answer is option A. Okay, so that's basically I can do this kind of problem under measurement for your start mass. Hope there's something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this start mass problem easy and fast. Okay, so let's get started. Let's look at the question and see whether it's something we can use the calculator to solve faster. The question says, if f of x equals x plus 7 and g of x equals 7x, what is the value of, we have 4 f of 2 minus g of 2. Okay, so guys, this question is another function in algebra. So I don't think we need the calculator to be able to solve this question faster. Manually we can do it faster. You just basic understand. Once you understand the concept, you'll be good to go. So let's do it together. Now, as we all know, f of x or g of x can be replaced with y. Alright, if you want to get confused with solid language. So but we make use of the language you're using here, f of x and g of x. Let's begin with f of x. F of x equals x plus 7. Now let's evaluate the function when x is 2. That's the meaning of this f of 2. This f of 2 means that the value of x is 2. Where you see x in the function, you substitute with 2. Like here, we're going to substitute x with 2. Okay, so this is going to give us f of x equals 2 plus 7, which give us 9. Now let's solve for g of x. Our g of x equals 7x. Okay, where x is the same 2 for g of x. Look at this, g of 2 means that where you see x in the function for g of x, replace that x with 2. So this will give us, when you replace x with 2, when you substitute x for 2, you're going to have 7 times 2, which will give us what? 14. So finally, we are asked to what's the value of 4 f of 2 minus g of 2. Now we have evaluated f of 2 and g of 2. We have the values respectively to be 9 and 4. So now get the final answer according to what we have here. It's going to give us f of 2 is 9, so it will be 4 times 9 minus our g of 2 is 14. That's all. So 4 times 9 will give us 36 minus 14. So when you punch this on the calculator, you're going to have 22. 36 minus 14 will give you up 22. So the right answer to this question is option C. Okay, so it's as simple as it. As you can see, we did not punch it into the calculator, just basically understand it, be good to go. Hope there's something interesting for the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this start mass problem easy and fast using the TI-84 plus Civil Edition scientific calculator in seconds. So guys, the question is under partial fraction. Let's get started. The question says, which expression is equivalent to this? Alright, so the very first thing to do is we set the calculator as usual. So we say to put in the default mode, press second, this plus button, full instruction, press 7, press 1 for all 1, press 2 and it resets. Okay, we are good to go. Now the next thing to do will be to store a value. We are going to use to simplify the question and also use it to simplify the option to get the answer. So I highly recommend 2 when you deal with partial fraction to be on the safer side. So we're going to store 2. You press 2, then you want to store it as x. You, after pressing 2, press the store button, press this button for x to come out, then press enter. 2 will be stored as x. So let's use this store value to evaluate the question. So it's in fraction, press math, go to number, scroll up under this fraction icon, then we have the question, right? 4 over 4x, the button for x minus 5. Alright, then come over to this place, we have minus a fraction again, press math, number, scroll up this, we have 1 over x plus 1. So that's it. This is the question we have here. Let's press enter to see the output. The output is 1. Okay, so right now we're going to evaluate the options or simplify the options with the same stored value, which is 2, to see the one that gives us an output of 1. And the one that gives us 1 will be the answer. So let's begin with option A. Okay, it's as simple as this, guys. Go back to math, number, this fraction symbol. Okay, so we have option A, 9 over, we have in brackets x plus 1. Alright, we have the next bracket 4x minus 5. So that's it, guys. We're good to go. Press equal to see the output 1. So this option A gives us 1 as output. It shows that this is the right answer. Feel free to check option B, C and D. Right now you won't get 1 as the output. So right now the correct answer is 1. Okay, so because of time I won't check other option, but I know that you won't get 1. The right answer is option A. So hope you learned something interesting from the video. This basically can do this kind of problems, solve this kind of partial fraction problem with this calculator for your start maths. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video we are going to learn how to solve this start maths problem. It's under graph. Okay, so let's get started. The question says the scatter plot shows the relationship between two variables x and y. A line of best fit for the data is also shown. So this is the graph. Okay, say at x equals 32, which of the following is closest to the y value predicted by a line of best fit? Okay, so I don't think we need a calculator to solve this question. Just basic understanding of the concept of graph and we're good to go. So we have x equals 32. So when x is 32, when you trace it, when x is 32 here, your y is between 2 and 3. It's around 2 basically. So the line of best fit is at this point, is close to this point of intersection. Okay, close to the point of intersection. So basically you can say that the right answer to this question will be 2.4. okay, that's the answer. Basically that's the answer, option C, 2.4. alright, since the line of best fit is between 2 and 2.5 thereabouts. So the right answer is 2.4, option C. Okay, so this basically can solve problems involving line of best fit. So it's as simple as this. Hope you learned something interesting from the video. This question is straightforward. Let's quit the video, guys. We don't need a calculator to solve this. Okay, in this video we are going to learn how to solve this hard maths problem easy and fast. So the question is under probability. Let's get started. The question says in a group 40% of the items are red. Of all the red items in the group, 30% also have stripes. What percentage of the items in the group are red and have stripes? Okay, so this question is very easy to solve. Just basic understanding of the probability behind the question are you good to go. And since it's talking about and, red and half stripe, so probability of and deals with multiplication, right? Given it is all, it should have involved addition, but since it's and, it involves multiplication. So let's solve this. Now 40%, I don't think you need a calculator to solve this. 40% is something like 0.4 of the total items of all the red in a group. 40% of items are red, so 0.4 of all the items. We don't know the total number of items, so let's call it x. 0.4x. Okay, that's 0.4 of all the items, x representing all the items. Now 30% is something as 0.3. 30% have stripes. So what percentage of the items in the group are red and have stripes? So 0.3% of the items as well, that's of x. Okay, so I'm now looking for what percentage of the items in the group are red and have stripes. So it would be, to get, since it's probability of and, so you now say 0.3 times 0.4x. okay, or you can choose to remove the bracket and do 0.3 times 0.4x. either way is still correct. So let's punch this in the calculator and see what it's going to give us as outputs. So we have 0.3 times 0.4, so we have the output to be 0.12. okay, so we have 0.12 of x. okay, now this is the answer to this question. Basically, let me show you something. Let me wipe some parts and complete this solution for you. Okay, alright, so guys, this will be 0.12 of x. okay, this time another way you can represent 0.12 is something as 12 over 100. okay, times x over 1. okay, presenting as 12x over 100. So this shows us that what percentage of the items in the group are red and have stripes. So this shows us that the percentage of the items in the group that are red and have stripes is 12%, option B. okay, so the right answer is option B, guys. Of 12% of the items are red and have stripes. So this is basically how you can deal with problems with that probability like this. Hope you learned something interesting from the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve the certain mass problem easily and fast. Okay, so let's get started. The question says the density of a certain type of wood is 353 kilograms per cubic meter. A sample of this type of wood is in the shape of a cube and has a mass of 345 kilograms. To the nearest 100th of a meter, what's the length of one edge of this sample? So guys, this question, I don't think we are going to need the calculator to solve it faster, straightforward. So what you need here is basic understanding of how to solve problems of density. Firstly, you will need to know the formula for density. Okay, very important. So the formula for calculating density of a substance is, we have density equals mass over volume. So in this question, we have the density to be 353. So we have 353 equals the mass is 345 over volume. Now it says to the nearest 100th, what is the length of the edge of this sample? So let's represent the volume with length. So now volume, this will be cube, right? So this will be length cube. Okay, follow me, guys. So when you cross multiply, you're going to have 3, 5, 3 length cube equals 3, 4, 5. So we want to make else the formula. Let's wipe some parts and complete this solution. We're almost done. Okay, just simple logic, basic mathematics, and you'll be good to go. Okay, so if you make else the formula, that means you're going to have L cube equals 3, 4, 5 over 3, 5, 3. Okay, so you cube root both sides, right? Cube root both sides. So this cube here cancel this cube root. So our length will be cube root of what we have. Let's make a calculator and punch this. So we have, during the cube we press math. Okay, then this is cube root. Let's press enter. Cube root of what? So it's in fraction. Go to math, number. Okay, this is the fraction I'm looking for. Cube root of 3, 4, 5 over 3, 5, 3. So that's it. Let's press enter now to see the output of this solution. So we have it to be 0.99. The right answer is option B. So it's as simple as this. We asked to the nearest 100th of a meter, what's the length of one edge of this sample? Okay, so the right answer is option B, 0.99. So guys, it's as simple as this. They leave the answers into decimal places, so it's 0.99. Option B. Hope you learned something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we're going to learn how to solve this math problem easily and fast. So let's get started. The question says the length of a rectangle's diagonal is 5 with 17, and the length of the rectangle's shorter side is 5. What is the length of the rectangle's longer side? So this question, you're going to apply Pythagoras' theorem to solve it. So Pythagoras' theorem states that in the right angle triangle, the square of the hypotenuse equals the sum of the squares on the other two sides. So let's represent this mathematical expression diagrammatically. So this will be this is just a sketching, guys. So I'm just using this to represent the question. So this is the rectangle, right? So this is the diagonal line. This is just a sketching, guys. Okay, so we have rectangle's diagonal is, so this is 5 root 17. So we have, and the length of the rectangle shorter side is 5. So the shorter side here is 5, and the rectangle, the opposite sides are equal, right? So this also be 5. So what is the length of the rectangle's longer side? So the longer side is this one. Okay, this is different from the diagonal side, right? So this also be x. It means that this shape from here to this point is equal to from here to this point. So you can just take one side of the diagonal and solve this. So that's what it means. So you can just decide to use just one side of the diagonal and solve this problem. Okay, so we have our 5 root 17, and this is our 5. We're looking for x. So from Pythagoras' theorem, this will give us, we're going to have x square, this is square, guys, plus 5x, 5 square rather, equals, let's put this in bracket, 5 root 17. This is 17, guys. Okay, square. So this is what we're going to have. Let's wipe some parts and complete this solution. Okay, so let me just wipe this place. Okay, let me see wipe this place. Alright, so guys, we are good to go. Now this will be x square plus 5 square is 25 equals, let's punch this now on the calculator to simplify. So we have 5 roots. So bring our square root in the calculator for a second. This button. So 5 with 17, what is going to give us? We have it to be this 20.61, or let's just do it like this, I'll not make mistake. So it will be 5 root second and this button 17. So you give space, we have times 5 root second and this button again 17. So what with the output, press enter. So we have it to be 425. Okay, 425. So x square, we want to make x sorry from the right, so this will cross over and we change to negative. So we have x square equals 425 minus, okay, let's say 425 minus 25 will give you what? 400. So we have x square equals 400. So your square root both sides, this square cancel this square root. So the square root of 400 is 20. So right answer this question is option B, 20. So this shows us that this side of x will be 20. Okay, so that's the answer to this question. This is basically I can do this problem. Hope you learned something interesting from the video. There's nothing complex about it, just Pythagoras theorem we applied, and that was all. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this mass problem easily and fast. So the question is on that graph. Let's get started. Let's calculate. It says the graph of a system of a linear equation and a non-linear equation is shown. Okay, what is the solution xy to this system? Okay, so guys, firstly, for this kind of quiz, I don't think we're going to need this calculator to punch anything. It's just basic understanding of how a graph is drawn. Okay, once you understand graph and its elements, you'll be good to go. So here we have a straight line graph and a curved graph, right? Yeah, so a linear graph and a non-linear graph, two equations and a non-linear equation. So we have at the point of intersection, this is where we're going to consider at this common point of intersection, this middle point here. So when you check carefully, when you trace it, remember the horizontal axis, this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis, right? So at this point of intersection where x is 4, when you trace it, okay, where x is 4, y is 5 from here. So the right answer to this question is option C. Okay, what is the solution xy to this system? So at this point of intersection, the coordinates, we have x to be 4 and y to be 5. The right answer is option C. Okay, so you don't need this calculator. This basically can solve this kind of problem easily and fast. So let's something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this mass problem easily and fast. So let's get started. The question says, on the first day of a semester, a film club has 90 members. Each day after the first day of the semester, 10 new members join the fin club. If no members leave the fin club, how many total members will the fin club have 4 days after the first day of the semester? Okay, so this is simple mathematics, guys. You don't even need a calculator to punch this. So just basic arithmetic. This question is very simple. So to solve this, it's going to be, remember it says each day after the first day of the semester 10 new members join the fin club. So it will not be, now it's not asking how many total members will the fin club have 4 days after the first day of the semester. So if 10 new members join the fin club each day after the first day, okay, in 4 days it will be 10 times 4, which is 40. So when you want to get the totality now, it will be, but we ask how many total members. So total members will now be 40 plus the original 90 members. So 40 plus 90 will give you what? 130 members. Right answer is option B. Okay, so you don't need to punch this in the calculator. This basically can do this SAT math problem. Alright, this basic arithmetic. So if there's something interesting in the video, the right answer is option B. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this SAT math problem. It's not fast. So the question is under graph. So let's look at the question and solve it together. It says the graph of the linear function f is shown. Okay, where y equals f of x. What is the y-intercept of the graph of f? So guys, I think we have solved similar problem around y-intercepts. So this is just another question under y-intercepts with different values and style of the question. So it is still part of math training. So let's solve this question together. You don't need a calculator to solve this, just basic understanding of intercepts of a graph will be good to go. So since we are looking for the y-intercept, at y-intercept the x-coordinate is always 0. Okay, so this shows us that the x-coordinate is 0. Then y-intercept will be where the straight line graph cuts across the y-axis. So when you trace it, this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. So this graph is cutting across this y-axis at these points. Okay, so this shows us that the y-intercept is 8. Okay, so this is positive y-axis, whereas below is negative y-axis. This place is negative x-axis, this place is positive x-axis. So below this place is negative y-axis. So the graph cuts across the y-axis at the positive side. So the right answer to this question is option D, which is what is the y-intercept of the graph of f. So the right answer is option D, where the x is 0, the y is 8. It's as simple as this. So this is how you can solve this kind of problem. Hope there's something interesting for the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this SAT math problem easily and fast. So let's look at the question and solve it together. The question says, what is the solution Rx to the given system of equations? So guys, this question is very straightforward. I don't think we're going to use this calculator to solve it. Just basic understanding of the system of equation be good to go. So in the question, we already have the value of R, so the 3. So what you're going to do now to get the value of x is to substitute this value of R here in this first equation. So let's do it, guys. So it will now be x plus 7 times 3 equals 27. So we're going to have x plus 21 equals 27. This will cross over to the negative. So x will be 27 minus 21. So x will be 6. Okay, so this shows us that when our r is 3, our x is what? 6. So right answer is option B. Very, very simple. Hope there's something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we're going to learn how to solve this short math problem. It's not fast, so let's get started. The question says the table shows selected values from function f. So we have the function f of x, y values, these are x values. Okay, which of the following is the best description of function f? Okay, so when x is -1, the f of x is 16. When x is 0, f of x is 17. When x is 1, f of x is 18. When x is 2, f of x is 19. So guys, looking at the progression of this table, you can easily identify that there is an increase the values by 1. Okay, so since the increase is by 1, it shows that it's linear in form or in progression. Okay, so the right answer is option B, increasing linear. So it's obvious, it's increasing linear, it's increasing by 1. So that's the answer to this question, option B. Hope you learned something interesting from the video. Alright, this question is very cheap. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this short math problem easily and fast. So the question is on that graph. Let's look at it and solve it together. It says the graph of a system of linear equations is shown. Okay, so we have two linear equations solved in one graph. The solution to the system is xy. What is the value of x? Okay, so this question, we're not going to need a calculator to solve it. Okay, so for this kind of question, what they are looking for is at these common points of intersection. Okay, so which is at this place. So at this common point of intersection, the value of x is 4. When you trace it down, okay, so the value of x is this place, is 4. Alright, remember this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. So the value of x in this question is 4. So it's as simple as this. So at 4, so when the x is 4, y is 1. Okay, but they're not asking of y, asking of x. So the value of x is 4. This I can deal with this problem. You don't need this calculator to solve it. Okay, just basic understanding of graph, you'll be good to go. So let's go to the video, guys. So learn something interesting. In this video, we're going to learn how to solve this short math problem using our fast. So let's look at it and solve it together. The question says, what is the range of the 7 scores shown? So this question is under statistics, and range problems under statistics are usually very easy. All you need is the formula and you're good to go. And in statistics or in maths, when you want to calculate the range of values, all you have to do in that given data is to subtract the least or the lowest value from the highest value and you get the range. Alright, so from this question, we have in this data the highest value is 52 and the lowest value is 23. So the range will be the highest value, which is 52, minus the lowest value, which is 23. So the range will be 52 and 23. You're going to have 29. Okay, so this will give you the answer. Okay, you don't need to punch this in a calculator. Alright, I think you can still solve this when you input this data and press the start function. You get various output for this statistic, but you don't need to go through that process. It's kind of lengthy, or it will take more time than this manner process. This manner process is faster and easier. Okay, hope there's something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we're going to learn how to solve this short math problem. It's not fast. Alright, so let's look at the problem and solve it together. The question says we have y equals 4x, y equals x squared minus 12. The solution to the given system of equations is this x and y, where x is greater than 0. What is the value of x? So guys, for this question, don't think we're going to do this with a calculator straightforward. Okay, so the manner process will be easier to follow. Alright, so let's do it together because this question is involving quadratic expression. So we already have the value of y before x. This is equation 1, this is equation 2. So what this means is that here you see y in equation 2, you replace it with 4x. So we're going to have 4x equals x square minus 12. Now to make this a quadratic equation, this will cross over the equality sign. Alright, I will change negative. We're going to have x square, okay, minus 4x minus 12 equals 0. So let's factorize this quadratic expression. If you want to factorize, ask yourself the two values that when you multiply them you get negative 12, and when you add them you're going to have negative 4. Okay, so the two values will be negative 6 and 2, right? Yes, because minus 6 times 2 you're going to have negative 12, minus 6 plus 2 you're going to have negative 4. So this will be x square, okay, minus 6x minus 2x minus 12 equals 0. This is 0, guys. So right now we are factorizing, right? So we're going to have x square, okay, sorry, this is plus, guys, plus 2, okay, very important. So we're going to have x square minus 6x, okay, in bracket, then we have 2x minus 12 equals 0. So if we factorize, you're going to have x in bracket x minus 6, then we have plus the common factor here, we have 2 in bracket x, okay, minus 6 equals 0. When you multiply what you have outside with what you have inside the bracket, get back to this, and when you multiply what you have outside here with what you have inside, you get back to this. Okay, so right now you take the common factors, the common values. This will give you x plus 2. This is 2, guys. Let me write it where x plus 2, okay, in bracket x minus 6 equals 0. So let me click some parts to complete this solution. So let me clean here, guys. Alright, very interesting, guys. So it should not be x, we have two values. We have x plus 2 equals 0 and x minus 6 equals 0. So x will be, when 2 crosses over, change to negative 2, and x will be, when minus 6 crosses over, change to 6. So the value of x, we have it to be negative 2 and 6. And the question says, what is the value of x when x is greater than 0? So the value of x when x is greater than 0 is 6. 6 is greater than 0. Negative 2 is less than 0, so it can be this one. So right hand side is this one. The value of x is 6. So it's as simple as this. This basically can solve this kind of problem. Alright, easy and fast using this manual method. Hope you learned something interesting from the video. Okay, let's go to the video, guys. You can easily verify this as well. Alright, so knowing the value of x, you can easily know the value of y. So when x is 6, this will be, you're going to do 6 times 4, y will be 24. When x is 6, y will be 24, because 6 times 4 24. So verify this in equation 2. When you plug in, if y is 24, now when you plug in the value of x here, which is 6 squared 36, 36 minus 12, you will get back to 24. So this solution is valid, is correct. This is how you can solve this problem. I hope you learned something interesting in the video. Let's go to the video, guys. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve this short mouse problem easily and fast using the TI-84 plus CV edition scientific calculator. So let's get started. The question says, what's the value of tan 92 pi over 3? Okay, so firstly, you need to ensure that the calculator is radian. Okay, but no need to worry about that because by default, this TI-84 plus scientific calculator is always in radian. But you can still check to verify. I don't know the physical calculator or the hardware calculator whether the default setting is in radian, but this software I'm using, the default setting is in radian. So to check that on your calculator, just press mode. So when you get here, you can see this place is radian by default. If yours is a degree, for instance, if it is here, this is degree, all you have to do is switch to radian and press enter. I'm good to go. So that's it. Let's press clear button. So right now it's in radian. We can solve this problem perfectly. So let's input this in the calculator. The question we have tan. Okay, in fraction, press math, go to number, scroll up. This is a fraction I'm looking for, enter. Okay, so we have 92 part, bring up by press this second and this button. Okay, over we have 3. So that's it. Close the bracket, very important. Press enter. So we have the output to be minus 1.732. Right now we're going to simplify these options. Anyway, it gives us minus 1.732 the answer. Okay, so let's begin with option A. Now when you're starting a value with a negative sign, don't use this negative sign button, use this one. Okay, very important. So we're going to press this one. We have, we got minus 1.732. okay, so we have minus square root, bring our square root, press this second button and this button. Okay, 3. So that's it. Let's see that we're going to have minus 1.732. okay, press enter. Exactly, minus 1.732. So the right answer is option A. Alright, so it's as simple as this. This basically can solve this kind of problem easily and fast using this TI-84 CV edition scientific calculator. Hope there's something interesting in the video. Let's get the video, guys.